Well, now we come to a massive category, the Category 3, Corruption Reporting Award. There's plenty of it, lots of capacity and potential. Corruption drives a great deal of our coverage about the developing world, and our Corruption Reporting Award, created last year in partnership with Transparency International, is to highlight the importance of covering corruption around the world. These are our nominees.
Virunga, Grain Media and Violet Films.
Soit 0,1, on sait pas.
Oui, ça peut faire déjà beaucoup d'argent.
Alors que d'autres, c'est quand.
Rebels like Colonel Kazarama are all scrambling to profit from the oil exploration in the region. Although so far there's no evidence that Soko has entered into financial deals with them. By operating in this environment, I think that Soko are playing with fire, and they are playing with forces that are extremely powerful and dangerous.
Africa Investigates, Uganda's Temple of Injustice. Insight, This World Investigates for Al Jazeera English.
Come to report a case.
Which case?
It involves land transaction.
We've already worried that the police will smell a rat, but it becomes apparent they are more interested in something else.
Finding Nyamba, we trace this man. How much? How much? Seasoned in the How much?
The policewoman is called Officer Nagai. She will help trace the missing land vendor, but only for a price.
People's Republic of Offshore, International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. This complex and risky cross-border investigation into the hidden offshore financial deals of the Chinese elites involved the first ever collaboration between journalists in the US, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Germany and Spain.
As concerns grow about the wealth of corporate oligarchs, government officials and their families, some Chinese have braved the government's anger by raising questions about corruption. A grassroots group, the New Citizens Movement, uses the internet and small demonstrations to press for greater transparency. How can you fight corruption if you don't even dare to disclose your personal assets, the group's founder wrote last spring. The government's response has been swift. It has arrested him and detained more than 20 members of the group, indicting some for disturbing public order or illegal assembly, charges frequently used to silence dissidents.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be with you tonight. I want to say we are at a turning point in the fight against corruption. We are, actually. I know we hear every month and sometimes every week about a new international scandal. FIFA, we've heard about FIFA tonight. HSBC, the French case, Alstom, 2 Scandinavian companies allegedly giving a $50 million bribe to Gulnara Karimova, the daughter of the Uzbek president, a Dominican senator who's been just freed because of a lack of evidence after having allegedly embezzled $100 million, and the list goes on and on and on. And we know that not a single country in the world is fully compliant with the anti-money laundering recommendation of the FATF, the Financial Action Task Force. And we know that only 4 countries are actively implementing the OECD Convention Against Foreign Bribery. And yet, people are still mobilizing. They're in the streets, millions of them, in Brazil, in Turkey, in Moldova recently, in Ukraine, in India, just name it. There is a lot of mobilization, and people are really hopeful. And this is thanks to you, thanks to journalists who have the courage and the passion to denounce corruption, journalists who have the passion to shed light on abuses of power, and there are enough for each of you to work on them, unfortunately. And this is also thanks to you able to listen to citizens and really relate to their outrage. We want to really make sure that we can work with citizens, make sure that we are helping them denounce these abuses of power. And this is why Transparency International has decided to fund the One World Media Corruption Reporting Award. This is our second year. We're very glad. The entries this year were extremely high level, as you could see. And the winner tonight is Virunga.
Thank you. Wow. This is Joanna, who, when she's not judging films for One World, is also making feature films. I think I speak on behalf of the entire filmmaking team, our funders and our partners, that it really means an enormous amount to win this particular award. It's really strange for us to be here. When we started making this film, we couldn't even imagine finishing it, let alone being at BAFTA at an award ceremony. Making Virunga was very scary, it was difficult, and it was very dangerous, not the least for the rangers of the Virunga National Park, who were so generous in allowing us to share their story with the world. And every day they're still out there risking their lives. And in the last 10 years, 140 of them have died trying to protect the Virunga National Park. And tragically, today, another ranger lost his life in a battle to protect this place for all of us. And this park, it faces a number of threats. It faces threats from poachers, it faces threats from rebels. The last thing this place needed, this is the home of the last of the world's mountain gorillas and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the last thing this place needed was a $1 billion oil company listed on London Stock Exchange, based 200 metres away opposite the Ritz Hotel, to come along and illegally explore for oil and undermine the rule of law and employ contractors who have been paying dodgy money to people who are accused of all sorts of human rights abuses. I guess what I'm saying is it's a real honour to receive this, and this is for the rangers of the Virunga National Park.